Welcome back to the channel. I'm J. We are locked in. This is the recap for episode 8 of Raising Kanan season 4, and I gave this episode a 9 out of 10. We did a first reaction this morning, and I was seeing the same feedback, 9s and 10s. And let me tell you, we are in the final episodes. We got 2 episodes left, so you know there's about to be a lot of action. And in this episode, guess what? Rock has finally put her foot back in the game and the product has arrived. So we're going to jump into this and break this episode down. Now, if you like power content, breakdowns, theories, and predictions like this, daily videos, then you're at the right channel. My name is J and I talk power. Hit that subscribe button, turn on that notification bell, make sure you hit that like button. We're on the road to 75,000 subscribers. So let me get done talking to you guys and go ahead and jump into this recap of episode 8, because that's what we're here for, to figure out who took out Famous. And we find out in this episode. We start the episode off with a robbery, and we're wondering who the hell is robbing Quan. Now we're in the office and we see about 10 bodies just laying around everywhere. Well, it turns out Marvin then pulled up on Quan because Quan is partnered up with Unique now, and we can't have the opposition having a supply chain. So what they're doing is robbing them, getting some money, because as long as Hazard doesn't have the product, that means Rock and Marvin ain't making no money in the streets. Now Quan, he's sitting there and he's holding it down. People are dying left and right. He ends up giving up the code to the safe. Marvin goes in there. But what he also finds is that there's some diamonds in there. And diamonds are forever. Now, unfortunately for Quan, he's like, if I give you the code to the safe, you gonna let me go? Marvin is like, yeah, I am. But he takes his mask off, and now he knows it's Marvin. And what does Marvin do? Bow! R.I.P. to Quan. Lulu and Imani have been getting close, and the reason for that is because, well, Jess is left and they work together. They're business partners. So Lou threw that thing on her, or should I say she threw that thing on him. Either way, they got a nice little workout in. And once they get done, he's like, man, I love my job. This is full time with her. I'm talking about sun up to sun down, from the studio to the bedroom. Now, Imani, she has a little bit of jealousy in her, and she's asking Lou, how many full-time jobs do you have? And what we're talking about is adult jobs here. You know what I mean? Who else are you messing with? Because he was with Jess. But he's like, it's just you. And she's saying, I know your mom had just recently passed, R.I.P. to Joyce. But Lou doesn't want to talk about it because he really doesn't have the words. Even though Joyce was calling him soft, he still loves his mother. It's just a tough situation right now. We all know about the situation B Real is in. He went to Lowe's house, and well, that was Lowe's house, but he was renting it out to somebody else, and R.I.P. to those two. Now, Kenyatta and Julius, they pull up on him, and they're like, we're going to go re-rob Lowe. Yeah, I said it, re-rob, and they want to go to the right house this time. But B-Rilla is scary. We all been looking at B-Rilla thinking that he was really a tough rapper, but I seen through that whole facade and knew he was weak. He doesn't want anything to do with this. He's like, man, security is tough. The police are out. We can't do it. But Kenyatta and Julius, they said we got to do it. So now B-Rilla is stuck in this whole nonsense of trying to re-rob Lowe, but the right house this time. And he doesn't want to do it. Kanan and Jukebox are having their daily meeting at the diner. Now, Kanan, he has a lead. And his lead is thinking that Rock has something to do with Famous. Now, remember, he brought Jukebox in to work with him. There's no product right now, and it's a little slow. But Juke, what she really wants to know is what happened to Famous. So she's like, Kanan, spit it out. Who did it, nigga? He's like, Rock did it. Now, her relationship with Rock is different, and she's looking at Kanan like, nah. You just hating on Rock right now because you don't like her. But she couldn't have had anything to do with Famous. And Kanan is like, nah, because he seen her paying the police, not knowing she was paying the police because of the whole Plaza situation for protection. Juke is like, nah, Kanan, that can't be it. But Kanan, he's stuck on it, and this is what he's going with. Rock did it. Arkbar and the Jersey Boys, they kicking it. I'm talking about having a grand old time. They done took over the streets. The corners are theirs. They got Unique back in the power situation. And who do we see in the background? Our boy OC. Now, OC is talking about, hey, man, when's Unique gonna get here? When's Unique gonna get here? When's Unique gonna get here? Arkbar's like, hey, man, chill out, bro. He'll be here when he be here. Now, everyone's been thinking that OC took this money, but OC, he nervous. He trying to get the hell about the city because he knows that Kanan is going to be looking for him because he was the person closest to Kanan. And Arkbar is just like, man, sit down and shut up. Jeez. Unique finally shows up and OC's in here. Now you hear Unique talking about, man, we got to do this and this. What's good, y'all? Y'all getting money? Yeah, because Unique is on top of the game right now. He is elevated. OC's still in here. Hey, Unique, can you help me get up out of here? I gotta go, man. Kanan's gonna know I helped you get that money. So we realized that OC really ain't know none of that stuff. OC was just an innocent kid that was caught up in all of the shenanigans of the streets. Now, Unique is upset. He's like, why are you keep talking to me? Why would Kanan know that you're over here, huh? How would Kanan know you had something to do with it? He's like, man, because Kanan is smart. Well, Unique ain't trying to hear none of that. And OC keeps nagging, talking about, I need help. Give me some money so I can get out the city. Fop, fop, fop. R.I.P. to OC. We're dropping bodies left and right in episode 8. Unique took out OC so he would be quiet and shut up. Be Real is at the studio and he's working on a new track, but he can't finish it. He does 2 bars and he messes up. Hey, from the top. And Lou's looking around like, what the hell? Normally them flows is tight. Normally there ain't no hesitation. He's in there, he's getting it cracking. So Lou talks to the engineer like, what's wrong with Be Realer? He's like, man, maybe he needs some sleep. So he tells Be Realer to come out and he's talking to him like, what's going on? And you can tell that Be Realer is nervous. But we just seen that his brothers came and talked to him about re-robbing Lowell. So he finally comes clean and tells Lou, yeah, man, I got into some BS. That robbery at Lowell's crib that turned into a homicide, double homicide. Yeah, man, it was Kenyatta and Julius and them, man. I messed up, Lou. And Lou's looking at Be Realer like, man, you freaking stupid, because they got an opportunity right here in front of them. So Lou got to handle this situation. Rock and Marvin pull up on Hazef, and we've been waiting on that shipment to come in from Afghanistan. Now, he was talking about the conflict that's been going on over there. So exporting things, especially drugs, is going to be a little tougher. And he told them initially 2 weeks. That turned into a month, but we finally got that shipment on its way over here, and it should be here by the end of the episode. So what does that mean? Dollar signs. What does that mean? We back in the streets. So Marvin and Rock, they looking at Hazef like, yes, finally, thank you. We can get some money. They shake hands, and he tells her, I'm going to contact you when it gets to the docks. So it looks like Rock, we back in the game. Stefano ain't got to worry no more. We got the dope. Detective Garcia pulls up on Unique. Now, no one ever confirmed that Unique was unalive. And when he gets here, you hear Unique talking to Arkbar and asking him, is it clean in the back? Because we know OC just got popped. They like, yeah. So Garcia goes back there and he's like, damn, what happened to your brother? We seen him with Malcolm Howard. Unique is like, I don't know, man. I was gone. I was on vacation. So Garcia's like, the rumor said you was dead. He's like, well, I ain't dead. And I don't know what my brother had going on. And I don't know what any cops had going on. I know no one expected Unique to give up any information because Unique has been a pretty solid guy, whether he's on the opposite side or he's on our side. But he tells Garcia, I ain't got nothing to do with nothing. And Garcia's telling him, well, you need to go on that vacation. Basically letting them know that we cracking down in these streets because we need to solve the Malcolm Howard case. But Unique, he ain't saying nothing because he's trying to figure out who got rid of his brother. Kanan goes to meet up with Snaps and Pops because just like his mother, he's seen them talking to police. And if you go back and watch some of the earlier episodes when we first meet Snaps and Pop, police officers are coming up out of there. And it turns out to be police officers that we're going to find out about pretty soon. Now, Kanan is like, hey, what do you guys know about Famous, man? I seen you guys talking to the cops. Do you guys have some inside information? And they're like, what the hell are you talking about, Kanan? If we find out what happened to Famous, we'll let you know. If you find out what happened to Famous, you let us know. But the hell with that. Let's get our money. Now, Snaps and Pops, we know how they move. Green is the only thing that they're loyal to. Everyone else is just a business opportunity. And Kanan, you work for us. You don't question us. We question you. But something's up with Snaps and Pop. Marvin goes to pay Early Tyler a visit because there's a big fish that owed $10,000. Now, he does give Marvin some money, and he's like, oh, Marvin, don't worry about that. Me and my cousin Lindell, we handled it. Well, it turns out the way they handled it was a little bing, bop, boom, bop, bow. R.I.P. tossed off in the river because Stefano has been asking, hey, man, we had to get somebody up out the river. So now Marvin is like, wait, Lindell, your loud talking cousin? He's like, yeah, but he ain't gonna say nothing. He changed up, Marvin. And you know, it was your call. So Early Tyler is flipping it and letting Marvin know the only reason I deleted him was because you told me. And technically, Marvin told him You need to take care of that situation. Now, he didn't say how to do it. He was basically telling Early Tyler to just get that money, but they deleted a made man. Jukebox is doing her own investigation, and where does she go? To OC's family's house. Now, his brother Rashawn actually opens up the door, and he's like, I ain't seen him in a while, but come on in. I got some food on the stove. You know, I can't let it burn. Jukebox comes in there, and she's looking around like, yeah, I haven't seen OC. I'm just looking for him, a good friend. Now, Rashawn turns out to be a creep because he's thinking, hey, are you and OC friends like boyfriend and girlfriend? And then he grabs his crotch and tries to push up on Juke, not knowing that Juke has became full demon. And plus, she don't even like boys. So she pulls out the Thule, pistol whips him, and is like, where's OC at? He said, man, I ain't gonna lie to you. I ain't seen him in a while. She's like, see how easy that could have been? I ain't nice, but all you had to do was tell me in the beginning you ain't seen him. And now you got a lump on the side of your head. Rock goes and talks to David because he's the one that's about to be moving this product. Now, when David is over here, he's talking about some guy and if the guy likes him, and Rock is trying to handle business. But this is just how David is, and they got to deal with it. Remember the first time they pulled up, he was painting, telling Marvin, ooh, I like the color of this wall. They had to shake him up a little bit. But Rock is saying, David, listen. Hazef said we got the product coming in. You need to get the trucks running and the warehouses open and get the workers here. He's like, oh, Rock, I like work. I like everyone's work, and I can't wait. Rock is just like, all right, whatever, David, because she's getting nowhere with him. But we got to do what we got to do. And David, he has the infrastructure. We just got to provide the product. Snaps and Pops are hosting a meeting with their dirty cops on the roof in front of the Empire State Building. Now, the cops are Wiley and Pickett, and they show up, and basically we find out that Snaps and Pops has something to do with Famous. They had to get rid of Famous because he was running his mouth too much, and he was Kanan's right-hand man. Now, these cops, they messed it all the way up, and they're talking about, man, people are just speculating. No one really knows. So they're like, well, you need to figure that out. You need to do something, because when you messing with Snaps and Pops, you making us look bad. You messing up our money. So what the cops are saying is, all right, they did mess up the whole Famous thing because Kanan is asking questions. So what they're talking about doing is getting Kanan and shaking him up and figuring out what all does he know. So Snaps and Pops, they are playing both sides. But remember, green is the only thing that moves them. So Famous was taken out by some cops, not by Rock. Unique pulls up on Phil Russo because he was talking to Ark Bar. He's like, man, Jersey, we need to make some move. We can't be sitting back. Now, when he gets there, Phil Russo already told him, we can't make moves on Stefano. We can't be dropping bodies. That's a made man. And the 5 families in New York, they would all come together and crush Jersey. So Phil Russo lets Unique know, just like everyone else lets people up under him know, no, we don't look like bitches out here. You look like bitch out here, talking to Unique about the whole situation with Rock getting some product and taking out Quan. So now Unique got to stand on business, because remember, Phil Russo already gave you money. He gave you the backing of the muscle from Ark Bar. So Unique, it's on you, because your money is your money. But my money invested in you, I need my money back. So you better get it, or we're going to get on you, Unique. Lulu pulls up on Kenyatta, and what he's trying to do is tell him, hey, look, Be Real is with me. Be Real does music. Whatever y'all got going on with Low, like, I don't want y'all to do it, but Be Real is with me. He going to stay out of this. Now, Kenyatta's like, oh, I heard about you, Lou, but I never got a chance to meet you. I'm hearing good things. And I know that you really a man about the street, so it's a pleasure. But let me tell you something. They got you brainwashed. You working for that white man. They got you confused. And also, Be Real is one of us. So if we want Be Real to go with us, he gonna go with us. Now, Julius comes out the back and he got a gun. Marvin goes to Rock's house and he's talking to her and he has to come clean. Early Tyler and his cousin Lindell, yeah, loudmouth Lindell, they took out a made man who is a part of Stefano's inner circle. Now, Rock is looking at Marvin. What the hell did you just do? Why are you telling me this when we're about to be winning? This is because Marvin is out doing his own thing, not thinking things through. And he did give Early Tyler the green light to go and handle that situation. Now, Rock is like, Marvin, you need to handle both of them, Early Tyler and his cousin Lindell, because Lindell talks a lot. And if this gets back to Stefano, everything is ruined. So Marvin is like, I'll handle it. She's like, see, Marvin, your tombstone is going to say you never learned anything. but she wants him to go take out Early Tyler and Lindell. After talking to Phil Russo, Unique goes straight to Snaps and Pops, and he's letting them know, look, I got the best business opportunity going on right now. Quan is gone, but I got backing from the Jersey mob. You know Phil Russo? And he's also telling them, look, y'all know Stefano. Let's try to squash the little issues between those two, and we all come together. Basically saying, if you guys help me out, I'm going to help you out, and we can use the mob to our advantage. Now, Unique, right now, he doesn't have any work because Quan is gone, but he does have the blocks. He does have the backing of Phil Russo. And what did we hear? We hear that Snaps and Pops, they want that opportunity. So they're hearing it out, but they're also letting Unique know, hey, the way we going to be doing this is how we do it. So don't think you about to come over here and dictate how we moving or who we talking to or the terms and conditions of anything. And Unique, he got to agree. Jukebox is helping Rock clean out Joyce's old clothes and everything that they're going to get rid of. Now, Rock, she got a connection with Joyce. It just wasn't a good one, but she still has love for her, and she's looking at an old dress that she used to wear. And when Joyce pulled up in that all red, let me tell you something. If y'all would have seen Joyce 25, 30 years ago, woo-wee. Now, Jukebox and Rock, they have a very close relationship. It's more like a mother-daughter than auntie-niece. And Juke is saying, if it's too much, Rock, you know, I can do this by myself. But Rock is like, nah, I'm good. I need to do this, and I need to go through it because this is what Joyce would want. So we see that Rock actually has a heart, and she cared for her mother. And we can't blame Joyce for how she raised her kids. She did the best she could with what she had. And that's why Juke feels a certain way about Rock when it comes to Kanan saying that she did something to Famous. She wouldn't do anything like that. Marvin goes to talk to Stefano, and he already went to talk to Early Tyler. Now, at this point, Stefano is cool, but remember that person that Early Tyler and them took out? He's like, well, we found him in the West River, and when we find out who did that to him, concrete slippers. Marvin, he nervous. You can see he kind of sweating. This is the first time Marvin had food in front of him and didn't eat one bite. Marvin nervous. His facial expressions, Stefano's like, Marvin, those slippers, they come one size fit all. And when we find out who did that, trust me, they will be swimming with the fishes. So Marvin is nervous. And Rock already told him he need to take out Lindell and Early Tyler. Again, we have to say R.I.P. to young OC. He never stood a chance. He got popped by Unique, and well, they threw him in the trash. And the trash man, he's doing his regular job, and he looks, and he's like, what is that? He looks a little closer. It turns out it's our boy OC. One straight to the noggin. R.I.P. OC. He didn't deserve it. When Kanan gets home, Crystal's in there cooking, and you can tell that something is off with Kanan. She's like, is everything all right? He's like, nah, man, the streets are crazy right now. He's trying to figure out what happened to Famous, where the hell OC is. And then he ultimately tells Crystal, you got to get out the streets. You got to get the hell away from New York. You need to go to Delaware, wherever your family is, because Unique is out. The streets need the body, and we don't know what the 411 is. Now, she's trying to stay here and keep Kanan calm because she actually loves Kanan. She wants to be there. But Kanan is starting to realize that these streets ain't no joke. And when the streets get to calling, you don't want to be the one that has to answer it. Marvin is running around nervous because those concrete slippers, they in the back of his brain. He's like, I don't want those. And he got to take out Early Tyler and Lindell. Now, we see those two playing cards inside the chop shop. They all in there joking around. You know how old heads are. They kicking it, drinking, having a grand old time. But Lindell has to use the bathroom. And since the toilet don't work, he goes outside. And guess who creeps up behind him? I'm not talking about the notorious B.I.G. R.I.P. Nah, it's Marvin Thomas. And Marvin got that silencer on him. And he says, loose lips sink ships. Pew, pew, ping, ping. That's the sound of the silencer, right to the back of the noggin. Now, remember, Rock told him he has two people to take out. He only took out Lindell, but he got the loudmouth one out the way. The product finally came in. Rock, Hazov, they linking up. This might be the best duo we done seen in Power in a while, because now we got that H, and guess what? Unique, he's a little hurt right now without Quan. So we about to get this product, bring it over to David. They about to chop it up, put it in the barrels, and get it back in the streets. Money is about to start flooding in. Now, Rock, this is her primary focus. And that's all she does for Stefano is move this dope. Young, move that dope. She's looking at it. It's a whole pallet. And I'm talking about this is the purest, straight from Afghanistan. Kanan and Jukebox end up finding out that OC was found deleted in the back of a trash truck. So they go over to OC's mama house, and we see the brother Rashawn in here, and everyone's in the kitchen. They like, man, no one knows. They just found his body in the back of a dumpster. Kanan's like, damn, because initially he was thinking that OC ran off with the money, but now he's starting to realize, wait a minute, someone must have took OC out or had him lead to my money, because he's looking at his mom, OC's mom, like, damn, this is all kinds of messed up. Rashawn's over there with a knot on his head and the do-rag on, but Kanan, he done lost out on that money, and OC is gone. Crystal went to talk to Rock about Kanan. Now, Rock is like, do you know what happened? Do you know who will be coming after his crew like that? Crystal's like, nah, but you need to own up to your BS, Rock. She leaves and goes to hop on the bus. Before she can leave, Pickett, Wiley, the cops that work for Snaps and Pops, the dirty ones that got rid of Famous, well, they come and get her. Miss Crystal, we need to have a conversation with you about Sean Figueroa. She's like, well, you can talk to me here. She nervous as hell. The cops say, nah, you need to come and talk to the detectives. So they escort her up off the bus, and she doesn't make it out the city. Now, remember, Kanan told her to leave, and that's what she was going to do. She just didn't make it. The last thing we see is Kenyatta and Julius waiting on B-Rilla. Now, remember, Lou went over there and tried to check him and let them know, hey, y'all not messing with B-Rilla. He's with me. They're like, yeah, whatever, nigga. So, what does Lou do? He sets it up. He knew that they were going to be following. He knew that they was going to be watching B-Rilla. So B-Rilla comes about the studio. Lou is waiting down the block because he peeped them already across the street. Kenyatta and Julius, they waiting outside. Lou pulls up on them, knocks on the window, pop, 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 lays down Julius. Kenyatta hurt. Lou comes around the car and finishes off the job. Lulu is officially back into the game. People called him soft. He ain't soft. He's really like that. All right, let me know what you think about this episode 8 recap. Remember, we got 2 episodes left, and right now, everything is crossed up. You may work for one person, but this person got something else going on behind that person's back, and this person's behind this person's back, but this person needs this person. So we all over the place, and on top of all of that, Garcia is snooping around for any information that he can get. Let me know what you think. I'm Mo.J. This is the recap of episode 8. If you like power content, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on the beat, boy.